Scientists just found all 5 building blocks of DNA on an asteroid. Not a meteorite that fell to Earth, but an asteroid that is floating in space right now, and this is the second time that it has happened.
NASA says a 2-billion-year-old asteroid sample contains a human-like protein. Evidence perhaps that the building blocks of life might not have started here on planet Earth. Could we all be the children of the stars?
So in March of 2026, a team of Japanese scientists published a paper in Nature Astronomy, one of the most prestigious science journals on the entire planet. They had been analyzing tiny grains of rock brought back from an asteroid called Ryugu by Japan's Hayabusa 2 spacecraft. And what they found inside of those grains was all 5 nucleobases. Those are the exact molecules that make up the genetic code of every single living thing on Earth, the letters of DNA and RNA. And they were just sitting there on a rock floating between Earth and Mars, 4.5 billion years old. To understand how insane this discovery is, you need to know how the samples even got here. In 2014, the Japanese space agency JAXA launched a spacecraft called Hayabusa 2. Its mission was to travel 300 million kilometers to a tiny asteroid called Ryugu, land on it, collect samples of rock, and bring them back to Earth. Ryugu is 900 meters wide. That's basically a giant boulder floating through space at tens of thousands of kilometers per hour. And Hayabusa 2 had to match its speed, orbit around it, descend to the surface, scoop up material, and then fly back home. That entire round trip took 6 years. But here's what made this mission truly special. Hayabusa 2 didn't just collect one sample, it collected 2. The first from the surface, the second from below the surface. The spacecraft actually fired a projectile into the asteroid to create an artificial crater, then descended into the crater to collect material that had been protected from space weathering for billions of years. Pristine material, untouched since the formation of the solar system. In December of 2020, a capsule containing 5.4 grams of asteroid dust fell from the sky and landed in the Australian outback. 5.4 grams, that's less than the weight of a nickel. But those tiny grains contain the biggest discovery in the history of astrobiology. They literally just sent a robot 300 million kilometers away to land on a spinning rock, blow a hole in it, scoop up the dust, and then fly it back to Earth. And inside of that dust, they just found the building blocks of every single living thing on Earth that has ever existed. I need absolutely everybody to understand how insane that sentence just was.
Yeah, so this discovery really builds on some of the earlier findings of the mission. When we first started the sample analysis, we discovered amino acids, in fact, 14 of the 20 protein amino acids found in life. And we also found the nucleobases.
Let me explain what nucleobases actually are because this is important. DNA is often called the blueprint of life. It's the molecule that stores the genetic instructions for building and operating every single living organism. And DNA is written in a code made up of about 4 chemical letters. Every gene, every trait, every instruction for building a human being or a tree or a bacteria is written using combinations of those 4 letters. RNA, which is the molecule that actually reads and executes those instructions, uses the same exact letters, except it'll swap them around. So the 5 nucleobases, A, G, C, T, and U, are the complete alphabet of life. Every living thing on Earth, from the simplest bacteria to the most complex human brain, is built using those 5 molecules, nothing else. And all 5 of them were just officially found on Ryugu. Previous studies had only found one nucleobase, the U, in the Ryugu samples back in 2023. But the sample size was too small to detect the others. In this new study, the team got access to larger portions of the material, developed more sensitive extraction techniques, and found all 5 in both samples. The surface sample and the subsurface sample. A, G, C, T, and U, the complete set. And before anybody says that the samples may have got contaminated on Earth, that's the entire point of the sample return mission. Those grains actually never touched any of Earth's atmosphere. They were sealed in a capsule in space, recovered in a clean room, and then analyzed under conditions that make a hospital operating room look like a parking lot. That is not a contamination at all. That is pure space chemistry, and it's obviously insane. Now here is where the entire story changes, because Ryugu is not the only asteroid where they found this.
NASA scientists describing it as a time capsule to our ancient solar system. Samples from an asteroid millions of miles away unveiled in Texas.
And they were collected during a 7-year asteroid mining mission.
In January of 2025, NASA published results from its own sample return mission, OSIRIS-REx, a completely different spacecraft built by a completely different country sent to a completely different asteroid called Bennu. And they found the exact same thing, all 5 nucleobases, plus 14 of the 20 amino acids that life on Earth uses to build proteins, plus ammonia, plus formaldehyde, plus sugars, which is the backbone of RNA. 2 independent space agencies, 2 different asteroids, 2 completely separate missions that took years to plan and execute. And both of them came back with the exact same answer. The building blocks of DNA and RNA exist naturally in asteroids. They form in space without any biological processes, without life, without Earth, without anything we would recognize as biology. The chemistry just happens. And the Bennu samples were even richer than Ryugu's. The concentration of nucleobases on Bennu was 5 to 10 times higher. They also found about 10,000 nitrogen-bearing chemical species in total. NASA's project scientists called it a complex soup of organic molecules. And in December of 2025, they found ribose, the sugar that forms the backbone of RNA, which means Bennu contains every single component needed to build an RNA molecule, all of them, on an asteroid. Every single ingredient needed to build the molecule that may have started life on Earth was found floating on a rock in space. And 2 completely unrelated missions confirmed it independently on their own. At some point, this is obviously bound to stop being a coincidence and start being a pattern. Here is the part that should genuinely change how you think about the universe. Both Ryugu and Bennu are what scientists call C-type asteroids, carbon-rich rocks that are among the oldest and most primitive objects in the entire solar system. They've been largely unchanged since the solar system formed 4.5 billion years ago. They're time capsules from the very beginning. And C-type asteroids are not even rare. They actually make up to 75% of all known asteroids. 3 out of every 4 asteroids in the solar system are the same type as Ryugu and Bennu, the same type that carries the building blocks of DNA and RNA. That's not some exotic outlier, that's the most common kind of asteroid that exists. Scientists have also found nucleobases in meteorites that fell to Earth decades ago.
Professor Lovering from Melbourne University's Geology Department has divided the last 8 months or so between studying samples of moon rock that he brought back from the United States and the Murchison meteorite. The Microelementary Analysis Service at the university have helped the professor prove many of the speculations he made about the value of the meteorite when he first saw it on This Day Tonight last September.
There was a meteorite that fell in Australia in 1969 and then another one in France in 1864. But meteorites are always questionable because they've been contaminated by Earth's atmosphere and the biosphere. The whole point of Hayabusa 2 and OSIRIS-REx was to eliminate that doubt, and they did. The building blocks were already there, in space, before Earth even existed. And here is what makes the new Ryugu data even more interesting. The team found that the ratios of nucleobases vary between the different asteroids and meteorites. Ryugu has roughly equal amounts of purines and pyrimidines. More ammonia means more pyrimidines. The researchers said that this may be a point to previously unrecognized chemical pathway for how these molecules form in space, a pathway that nobody has discovered yet. So not only are the building blocks for life everywhere in the solar system, they form through different chemical pathways depending on the conditions. Life's ingredients is not an accident at all, they're a default setting and it basically just figures itself out. Let me be clear about what this does and what it doesn't mean. This does not mean that there was life on Ryugu or Bennu. There wasn't. These are dead, airless rocks. What it does mean is that the raw ingredients for life are not special. They're not unique to Earth. They form naturally in the chemistry of ancient asteroids without biology, without water, without sunlight. They just happen. And they have been happening since the solar system was born. The leading theory is called Panspermia.
The idea of panspermia is that life on Earth did not originate on Earth, but it came from somewhere else. And in modern astronomy, that means from another star system.
The idea that life's building blocks were delivered to early Earth by asteroid and comet impacts during the late heavy bombardment, about 4 billion years ago. And at that time, the inner solar system was a shooting gallery. Asteroids were slamming into Earth constantly, and if 75% of those asteroids were carrying nucleobases, amino acids, sugars, and ammonia, then Earth didn't need to invent these molecules from scratch. They were just raining down from space. And if they were raining down on Earth, that means they were raining down on Mars too, and the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. The question was never whether or not the ingredients existed. The question was always whether the conditions were right for those ingredients to come together. Earth had liquid water, a magnetic field, an atmosphere, and enough energy, so life started. But the ingredients, they were already everywhere else too. And now, as of December 2025, scientists have confirmed that every single component needed to build RNA, nucleobases, ribose sugar, and phosphates exist on asteroid Bennu. Every piece. This entire molecule disassembled, sitting on a rock in space. One researcher said that this discovery means that all of the components to form RNA are present on Bennu. And that matters because something called the RNA world hypothesis. Many scientists believe that before DNA, before proteins, and before anything that we would call alive today, the first self-replicating molecule on Earth was RNA. RNA can store genetic information and drive chemical reactions. It can do both jobs, and every single piece needed to build it has now been found on asteroids. Think about what that means for the search of life. Right now, NASA is planning missions to Europa, Jupiter's icy moon, which has liquid ocean beneath its surface. They're studying Enceladus, Saturn's moon, which shoots geysers of water into space, and Mars, where ancient rivers once flowed. If the building blocks of life were raining down on every single planet and moon in the inner solar system 4 billion years ago, then anywhere with liquid water and energy had a shot at life. Not because life is easy, but because the starter kit was already delivered. We have now spent decades asking ourselves where life came from, and it turns out that the answer might be everywhere. The building blocks didn't originate from Earth at all. They were already out there, floating in the middle of space, just on rocks, older than the planet itself. And now 2 separate missions, 2 different countries, we have confirmed it. 5 letters, A, G, C, T, and U. The alphabet of every living thing that has ever existed, found on 2 asteroids. 2 meteorites, and probably billions of more rocks we haven't even looked at yet. The code of life was written before Earth was ever even born. So obviously, the next time that somebody asks you where life came from, you can just tell them it was delivered by rocks in space 4.5 billion years ago, and we just officially proved it. If you want to see what else scientists are finding out there, obviously make sure you subscribe, because the universe keeps answering questions that we haven't even finished asking yet.